Hello, welcome to Bored and Confused, where I review shows based on two criteria. One, was I bored? Two, was I confused? Today's show is Messy White Gays. Now, before I jump into the Messy White Gays, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell anyone who is interested in theater to come check out my videos and watch this mildly amusing guy talk about theater and join the discussion in the comments below. All right, Messy White Gays. Going into this, I knew nothing other than the title, but the title really tells you a lot. And I wasn't surprised. So what is Messy White Gays? This is a farce. Hey, editing Matt here. I called this play a farce in my review, but when I downloaded the key art, it says at the top, a brutal new satire from the mind of Drew Droege. And I thought this show had more farcical elements than satirical. What do you think? Do you think it's more of a satire or more of a farce? 5 characters are in this. It's 80 minutes. The show begins with a gay throuple living in a high-rise Hell's Kitchen apartment with a beautiful view of Central Park. And 2 of the guys in this throuple have just killed the third, and the body is lying there, and they're trying to decide what to do with him because they have brunch plans. That should tell you everything you need to know. The body is also not believable as a real, it's like stuffed jeans and a shirt with, so we're being very silly, very ridiculous. People are behaving in crazy ways. This is really targeting a certain type of Hell's Kitchen gay who are materialistic and self-serving and care more about taking drugs and partying, trust fund babies, and unlimited money. That's who we're really targeting with this jokes. So they end up stuffing this body into a credenza, and 2 more of their friends come over. They haven't prepared for brunch because they were too busy murdering their third. And finally, Drew Droege, who wrote this, arrives. He's the neighbor downstairs, and he's complaining about the noise. Drew Droege, I know mainly from his social media posts, he does these really funny impersonations of Chloe Sevigny. And he is an improv person. I think 3 of these 5 actors are big improv guys. Aaron Jackson, Pete Zias, and Drew Droege, all guys who are great at improv, great with physical comedy. And the other 2 guys rounding out the cast, James Cusati-Moyer, who you've seen in plays like Slave Play, very funny as well. And Derek Chadwick, the youngest guy and the most muscly guy of the bunch, also is very funny as playing the stereotypical muscle stupid boy. Let's talk about positive things about this play. Drew Droege knows how to write a joke, and this is a short play, 80 minutes, and the jokes just come bam, bam, joke, joke, joke. So you really get into a rhythm of it, and even if a joke isn't as funny as maybe some of the other ones, you still laugh because you're in the rhythm, you're used to laughing. The audience around me, which consisted mostly of gays, I assume from Hell's Kitchen, were really loving this play. This play is very specific. Not only is it for gay men, it is specifically for gay men who know Hell's Kitchen. A lot of the punchlines in the jokes were name-checking locations in Hell's Kitchen that if you don't live in Hell's Kitchen, you probably wouldn't know. I live Hell's Kitchen adjacent. I live in Heaven's Kitchen, which is just above Hell's Kitchen. I guess not really called that, that's what I named it. But so I was familiar with all of these locations they were talking about. Also, the acting is really strong. These guys are really funny. Pete Zias, who plays the sluttiest of the gays, he is so funny in this. His physical comedy, sometimes he would deliver a line, I didn't even understand it, and I was laughing because he's just incredibly funny. So if you are the targeted demographic and want to have a good laugh, I think you'll really enjoy the show. It's the things that I personally prefer more of a narrative. Even if it's a farce, I like there to be a narrative arc. I like there's some more twists and turns to it, some revelations, which there are revelations in this. But for the most part, this feels a little bit like a conceit for a sketch as opposed to a full play. Because once they stuff that body into the credenza, we have a long stretch of just these gay guys picking at each other, being catty and making a lot of little jokes. We constantly come back to the smell of the dead body who has shat himself when he was murdered. So that kind of humor. And the casting of this was interesting, very funny guys, but I feel like the comedic target is like guys in their late 20s, early 30s, who I think of the typical gay Hell's Kitchen type. And these guys were probably more doing 30s to 40s, with the exception of the young muscle guy, Derek Chadwick, who looks to be in his 20s to early 30s. He looked correct for the age. Also, looking at these guys, I don't know if I really would believe that these 4 guys would be friends. And when Drew shows up, he's really supposed to be like the older gay guy. He's maybe 10 years older than some of these guys. So all of that it did pull me a little bit, because I wanted to really believe that these are the guys that I've seen in Hell's Kitchen. And I was more aware that these were really good comedic actors doing a send-up of these guys, which works, because, you know, people were laughing. I was laughing, not quite as much as everyone else, but this audience was really loving it. I mean, it's joke, 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 joke. And if you miss a joke, which I did a few of them, it doesn't matter, because there's another one coming down the pike. Okay, so was I bored? No, this show is 80 minutes. I did feel a little bit of a lull once they stuffed the body in the credenza, and then there was a long stretch before we finally come back to what we're gonna do. We seem to kind of forget about this dead body for a little while, just while they're picking at each other. We do come back to it, but I was a little lull in the middle. And was I confused? Mainly just the conceit, the plot, and the tone of the show is very clear. It's hard to be confused by something where people are just behaving ridiculously, and we're not in any kind of form of reality, so you can't be confused, because crazy things are gonna happen. You know, my friend actually, who I went, was confused by the ending. I was not, because I caught the dialogue where they set up what happens to the dead body, but he was very confused by what happened to the dead body in the very end. So I wasn't confused, but my friend was. Yeah. So to wrap this up, you know, I think this show delivers on its promise. I don't think it's trying to pretend to be anything that it's not. It is a farce. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's for the gays. It's specifically for the Hell's Kitchen gays. It's a lot of silliness, jokes. These actors are having a good time doing this play. The audience was having a great time watching it. There's lots of laughter. So if you just want a light, comedic, sketch comedy evening out, definitely go check out Messy White Gays at the Duke on 42nd Street, and come back and tell me what you thought. Tell me if you thought it was a laugh riot, and if you enjoyed these jokes and making fun of the gays. If you felt like you were seen, then comment below and let me know what you thought of the play. Where do you get tickets? Well, I know there are 39 lottery tickets for this show on TodayTix. And this is a black box theater. The stage is wide and long. Everything's staged downstage. It's just a box. Every seat in this theater is going to be a good seat for this play. So try the lottery. And if you don't do the lottery, keep your eye out on other outlets like TDF. They might have some cheap tickets. Otherwise, I don't think the ticket price for this is very high. And if you're a rich Hell's Kitchen gay, if you're the target audience, you can afford a full price ticket. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.